Nope, it's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's a Chinese spy balloon, and it's within the borders of our country. China says it drifted here by accident, and the U.S. says, no, it got here on purpose.
It's true. Let's go off the wall to learn more about this balloon and whether others might be a threat. So we're going to start first with the course of this balloon. Now, we love this graphic showing what we know to be the trajectory. And, Will, what's interesting is we know it emanated from China sometime in December, and it made a beeline not for the continental United States, but a state in the Union in Alaska that made its way through Canada.
Various tracks have shown it coming over the Arctic Circle, but it always comes over the north like this, I think there's two interesting things to point out about this. One, you said, why don't we shoot this thing down? And the argument has been, well, it could land on people, 400 square mile radius. These are some of the least populated areas here, including Alaska. You can imagine the Western Hemisphere. Including Alaska. But the secondary point is look at what's within the range. You would presume of something looking down from a spy balloon. And and there's some local weather reports. We should get Rick to do this, projecting the potential path. By the way, China says it's a jet stream thing. Yeah. Our agencies are saying, no, this is remotely controlled, likely unmanned, so it's not like there's somebody in it. It's helium-filled, can be controlled, solar-powered for the surveillance systems. And the current track is, if you're checking across the country, right now, likely in western Tennessee. So that's the likely path heading out, if we allow it to float over our country. Take a look really quickly here at the end. This map largely shows us the same thing. Currently, by the way, reports are it's over Kansas City, Missouri, right now as we speak. There's a photo last night. You can see it there. I mean, it's visible to the naked eye. You can see right there from a photo taken at ground level in Kansas City. Surveillance equipment here, and we'll talk about the size of this balloon in just a moment, because it's not small. But I think we could take care of it if we wanted to. Okay, let's go back in history. Let's take a look at this balloon, first of all. It's known as a reconnaissance balloon, as Pete just pointed out, carrying cameras and other equipment. It's, as we mentioned earlier in the show, it's at about, they say, 60,000 feet. Now, a commercial jet airliner flies about 35,000 feet. And Pete, normally they say these things fly at about 80 to 120,000 feet, which again raises the question of, okay, they're at 60,000 feet. It's more, to me, it looks more like a message. They knew they'd be seen. They wanted to be seen at some level. By the way, hard to hide something of this size. The size of the actual balloon, they say 3 school bus sizes. Now, that's not the size of the payload or the surveillance equipment. So when the Pentagon says, look at all the wreckage that would be created if we shot it down, there's ways to puncture a balloon that doesn't break up the structural integrity of whatever the satellite portion of it. And then once it's on the ground, you can deal with it. And as you pointed out, Alaska, Canada, Montana, even now over the heartland of our country, there's plenty of places you could take this sucker down. All right, so you're talking about something that's not exactly subtle, not exactly hard to spot, and is really kind of ancient in technology. Take a look at the use of spy balloons throughout history. They date back to the Civil War, where balloons began to be used as surveillance. Got widespread, by the way, starting in World War I. Yeah, I mean, a rudimentary technology. There's plenty of these right now. Drones you can use, high-level drones that are mostly... remember the B-2 bombers going back and forth during the Cold War? I mean, and then, of course, satellites that we use at much higher level. If China wants to get a sense of what's happening at Air Force bases, they can right now with satellite technology. A balloon is meant to send a signal. Our Pentagon is spending plans to spend $27 million on balloons. The point of that, by the way, I think it was we spent $3 million recently. The plan is to go to 27 amidst a massive defense budget. So again, not something we're investing in heavily $27 million is compared to what we're spending on anything else for surveillance purposes. It's true, but balloons can give you a much better real-time picture because satellites are orbiting. We use balloons over bases in Iraq and Afghanistan. You'd float them up really high, and they'd give you a super detailed vision of the neighborhoods around you in real time that was 24/7. This is giving China a better picture, and I think probing and testing us. How long will this... Think about it. If you're waking up right now in Tennessee or Missouri, there's a communist Chinese balloon floating over your head. Right. Our government knows about it, can do something about it, and is choosing not to. So that's the question is, what happens now? Our last slide, which we'll go through briefly, is what's the reaction of this? Because it could be 60 more hours, Will, based on the trajectory of this balloon
that the Chi-Com's just peeking at us.
Forward exits of the Atlantic Ocean. Here's Pentagon Press Secretary Ryder on other balloons that are being spotted.
That information is classified. I'm not able to provide it other than I can confirm that there have been other incidents where balloons did come close to or cross over U.S. territory.
There's been reports, by the way, Pete, of them showing up over Hawaii and in the Pacific in the past.
In the past. Don't worry. China says it's a responsible country. Everything will be fine here. That's their statement. Don't worry. Nothing nefarious. Just charted off course. But it's going to stick around.
Sure seems like a trial balloon. Let's see how the Americans react to this violation, to this thing that's going to go noticed on purpose.
Or don't react.
Yeah.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.